Welcome everyone. Good morning or afternoon or evening or good night. So depending on where you are, it's morning for me. So you guys, today I have Seth, who's been on this show before. Seth and I used to do a stream together, Mind Your Biz Mondays. We also used to do something called Scam Buster Saturdays. And it was while I was working with Seth that I first came across Hex. So we've worked together collaboratively since then several times. Thank you, Kevin Warwick. Yeah, one of my pitches for why people should watch today was I was like, I look really good today. You guys should totally tune in. So thanks for noticing, Kevin. All right, so Seth just left. He was here waiting. I guess he's having some kind of webcam issues. So I'll just tell you kind of why he's come on this stream before. And then recently he started working for the same company that I work for, which is LDA, or Lunar Digital Assets. So, hey, he's here. So I'm going to add him to the stream and then we can tell you together. Hey, Seth.
Howdy. Thanks for having me on.
How's it going?
Good.
Thanks for being here this morning on kind of short notice.
Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure. And as you know, I'm kind of a pinch hitter in the crypto commentary space. So like we can talk about literally anything and I'm down.
Yeah, well, and so today we want to talk about PulseChain, and I was just kind of like giving a rundown of why without revealing too much information. I've said Seth has recently started working for the same company that I work for, which is Lunar Digital Assets, or contracting. We're both contractors, right?
But yeah, nobody works for anybody anymore.
Yep. So I was wondering, because a lot of what we do, is my mic horrible? I got a new mic because Kinetic said that my old mic wasn't working. So I got like a new mic and it's still like my sound awful.
I'm hearing interference. It's almost as though you've got like some kind of like LTE band wave running through your system right now. This is the sort of thing that in a control room in a live broadcast environment, they used to tell us to keep our cell phones out. I'm hearing it's reminiscent of that kind of sound.
I'm wondering if
anybody with broadcast experience chime off and chime in the comments if you guys are hearing it too. Like thumbs up.
Let's try something. Oh,
now there's no audio.
Yeah. Okay. How about now? So now I'm just using my computer's mic.
The interference is not there. It could be that maybe the USB cable that you're using for your mic is not doesn't have a proper grounding loop in it. The kind that has like a little cylinder at the ends. Yeah. Let's get you one of those, and that might get rid of this noise.
Okay, cool. Thanks. If you could send me a suggestion for what to buy or just like a link, then I'll buy it.
Sure.
Thanks, Seth. You're the best. All right. So briefly, wanted to let people know without giving up too much information about who specifically we're looking into. LDA has several clients, and most of our clients are cross-platform or multi-chain protocols. So they want to, and in some cases do, operate on more than one chain. And with PulseChain launching, a lot of people have been saying that it's not like we don't want, PulseChain, all we need is Hex and a DEX, and that's really not true. What we need is like quite a bit of activity on the network for other people to see that they want to function there and for it to really be helpful to Ethereum. In fact, one of the ways that Richard pitched PulseChain in the, initial was, we need it to bring down the cost of staking and ending stakes, but it's also great for heavy S load protocols. So I asked Seth, hey, now that the testnet is live, could you look into this and create a document for a client or potentially more of our clients to see if we should recommend them looking into a PulseChain launch in the future?
Yeah. So, and this has been a lot of fun. Nicole, I'm not going to lie. So you and I, you're aware that we've been having conversations offline about the upcoming PulseChain launch. You told me about you really got my attention with the early sacrifice phase. So
the night that I wore the weird dress and had the candles.
Here's the thing, though. You're making all the right moves, obviously. And you guys know in the chat, if you don't love Nerd Girl, then what's wrong with you? Clearly, she's playing the game, right? It's a game. It's a game. Don't make it weird. But yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, so the early SAC phase, like, thanks for putting that on my radar. I was able to talk to some people in my personal sphere of influence, my personal circle, who got in, and they got in heavy. So they thank me on a regular basis. We're not quite at the point, right, where it's where we're reaping what we've sown, but they're excited. They're really looking forward to the future.
Cool. Well, I mean, some of that is like really going to be dependent on PulseChain actually functioning. And now that there's a test net, we can see kind of how it's going to function. And I'm not really technical enough. Like, I mean, I'm technical enough to add the RPC to MetaMask and go explore, but I'm not really technical enough to explain to clients or projects why they should consider or shouldn't consider launching on PulseChain. And that's why I asked you to jump on in. So can you share with us what you found?
Yeah, so I think maybe a primer for this audience right now, if anybody's tuning in that maybe isn't already on board with the PulseChain Testnet, then maybe let's start from first principles there. You can participate today. And what I've done for our live stream is to come up with a very simple test that you can do right now between wallets that you already control. Now, trying to build something on top of the PulseChain Testnet, unless you're already like a full-blown Solidity developer, you're going to struggle because you're going to need to A, spin up a node, and then B, spin up a faucet on the testnet so that you can get more testnet coins if you want to send testnet coins in bulk that haven't been mirrored from your real world Ethereum holdings. So yeah, that's kind of thing number one to be aware of. But if it's okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and just share my screen right now.
Yeah.
And let me just make sure I've got. Whew. Okay, I'm a little bit. Hey, look at that. You know what? That's not bad.
There's my dog making an appearance in the background.
Ha! Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share. Let's see if that is sharing as expected. Y'all can see you can see, I think, MetaMask window.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I just need to add it to the stream. There we go.
Mm-hmm. So awesome. Oh shoot. Didn't want to do that. I want to do, okay, I'm going to keep that full screen, guys. You don't see tabs because, OPSEC. I'm just going to say that right now. If you're not convinced that your operational security is important, wait until you start seeing assets like PulseChain mature. And then you'll start wishing that you've never shown your addresses publicly to anyone ever.
Yep.
So just throwing that out there. But as far as adding the testnet to your MetaMask, like you said, adding the RPC is simple, right? So we've got some addresses here, and I've provisioned a brand new little Trezor wallet address that I can import that is not important. It's never been used. If the address for this does flash on screen, guys, please don't send anything to it or like anything, even if it's like, joke NFTs, right? Like DPic NFTs or whatever, like it's just not going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to laugh.
People's dick pics?
Yeah, no, call me crazy. Call me crazy. I've been called a lot of things, but not a connoisseur of digital dick pics on Ethereum. So yeah, please do refrain. But I've got a couple of networks that I'm interested in using here. You can see them in the dropdown. I've already got the PulseChain Testnet added, as well as some others that are just interesting to me. This was breaking, by the way. I don't know if you heard the news there, but we've begun the era of private RPC. This is happening now. So yeah, everybody's getting desperate to carve out a place for themselves when ETH goes 2.0 or when the beacon chain merges. So that's a thing. Just saying. But I've got this brand new wallet set up. As you can see, I put in the testnet version of PulseChain, right? TPLS as instructed in the GitLab over on the PulseChain repository. There'll be 0 transactions there. It's not very interesting right now. But what is interesting is when I go over to accounts that do have some Ethereum in them, right? They show TPLS. Why would they show that? I didn't go to a faucet. It just shows up as a perfect mirror image of whatever the Ethereum holdings are. And it gets more interesting still when I go to add tokens, right? So everything's going to be a custom token on the testnet. There we go. Here's that same address with the address redacted here on the current testnet explorer for PulseChain at scan.pulsechain.com. So I used, guys, if you're not familiar with this tool, again, for OPSEC reasons, if you're using Brave, you can right click something and then under Brave, you can block that element visually so that it doesn't show while you're broadcasting. Just
so you know, most of us are not using Brave, and that's because of some issues with, Brave being able to somehow get MetaMask passwords and like having taken over some hex stakes. So I'm not sure of the exact details on that, but I should find them for you and send them to you.
Yeah, please do. I normally use ungoogled Chromium. That is my preferred Chromium-based browser. But I'm on a brand new desktop OS, on a brand new distribution of Linux that I haven't tried before, and there is not a very good binary build of ungoogled Chromium. So I'd have to compile it from source, and Chromium is a beast. It takes days. I mean, with a fast desktop processor, it can take 48 hours to compile Chromium from source. It's a terrible, like, giant bowl of spaghetti as far as code goes. But yeah, so whatever, first world problems. At least I'm not looking for clean water.
Yeah.
So,
everyone smash the likes. Smash the likes.
Yeah, much appreciated. But you guys can see here, like here in the testnet block explorer, it shows that I've got some tether, right? Like that's cool. Everybody likes finding that secret tether they didn't know they had. And it shows me here for my convenience in the testnet explorer. I don't have to go over to Etherscan to look up this token. I could, but I don't have to. We tab over here as well. And then here is the tether page on the testnet explorer, also showing me that's the same address. It's a contract address for tether. But again, mercifully, inside of my token balance, it's listed there for my convenience. So when I want to add a new token to MetaMask, I can just copy and paste. I see that those 70 tether, right? I was like, oh, whatever, it's pocket change. And on Ethereum, it's not even worth moving right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's crazy. It's $70 is dust now on Ethereum. Yeah. So I can add those tokens though. And voila. I've got some play money on the testnet. And if you want to see how fast those transactions are for yourself, you can just send some of your tokens. I'm going to transfer it between my accounts and go to that brand new account that I just set up so that we can see what's the minimum amount for me to get in Pulse tokens, right? In the native utility token on PulseChain. What's the minimum amount that I need to be able to round trip this tether to that new wallet and then back, right? And so live chat, we will take your bets now, okay? How much in total is it going to cost me in fees to go from this wallet to the new wallet and then back?
In Pulse.
In Pulse. In TPLS, right? So testnet Pulse.
Yes, test Pulse.
So
all right.
Yeah, this is like
what you guys think.
I guess it's like improv games, right? The games are made up and the points don't matter. But now it matters if you guess it right?
All right. Someone says $2. Someone says 0.09.
Guys, there's no dollar value yet. So can't guess in dollars. Unit of account has to be TPLS, right? Or PLS, right? Because this will reflect roughly how much it'll cost.
0.0008 or less. 0.000025. 0.7.
Okay, guys, keep them coming. So I'm going to do this live while you keep those guesses coming in.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you right now, Nicole, I like the 0.008 or less. I think we're kind of in the range that makes sense.
3 zeros, 8.
Yes, so 3 zeros, 8, or less. I like that. It's kind of, I mean, let's be real. It's also kind of a cop out to say like or less. Like, of course, it could be less. But it could be like an order of magnitude less, right? It could be 4 zeros, 8. But we'll see. I think it's a good guess though. I think if it's above that, I'll be shocked.
Okay.
What do you think, Nicole?
I have no idea.
Okay. Cool. Well,
and honestly, it doesn't really matter until we know the value of Pulse too.
That's true. Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. Well, it's funny because I know you and I, like, just because of work related stuff, we wind up using the Polygon network often today, right? As a side chain, which is not as convenient to use in terms of importing smart contracts. I wanted to show that right now really quickly because we saw the smart contract. I kind of fragmented here, guys, and I apologize. I promise we'll come back. We'll tie this thing up with a bow, but really fast. Like that's the smart contract address on the testnet for PulseChain, right? So we see this. Let's quickly take inventory, right, mentally. 0x DAC ending in EC7, right? It's just kind of like, we can remember those characters, right? So we won't get too complicated here. But DAC EC7, DAC EC7, right? It matches, but now the title is different, which just kind of shows you that whether it's uppercase or lowercase doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah. Not case sensitive, but DAC EC7. And what's this? We're on Etherscan and we see DAC EC7. This is just reinforcing that point that everything is mirrored, right? For anybody who doesn't know, like just showing, right? On the testnet, we have evidence of that being the case on the testnet. And that's going to be the user experience moving forward. Everything you do is just very easy to step into. And even the lookups, right? When it inside of MetaMask, when like look for a custom token or whatever, add a token, it'll be extremely easy to work with. So I know, being nerdy, guys, we're going to send all of the tethers, all $70.78 worth. So we're sending from a MetaMask account over to a brand new Trezor account that's never been used before, has zero history on any networks at all. And simulated gas fee, estimated gas fee, 4095.
Wow, 4095. Okay, so we've got a 407, 308, 307, 1, 2, 3, 4, 506. Yeah. All right.
Here's the thing, though. This is only one leg of the trip, right? We're going round trip.
Right.
So let's go ahead and confirm that. Just thinking about it, at least in MetaMask, it hasn't confirmed that transaction just yet.
Okay.
And we're being given the option to speed up the transaction, which, you know, based on the speed of the blocks, the block time on Pulse and on the testnet, I don't expect. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so I've got my confirmation over here, and I just clicked on it. Oh, and I doxed. Sweet. All right. Okay, I didn't hide everything, but it's not really an important account, either one of them. That's why there's dust in it, right? So, right. Yeah, but we can see right there that, yeah, it went through. Gas price, you know, it's 1 Gwei. Oh, hey, no, it's 1 Gwei, many, then 007 Gwei.
Oh, 007.
Right. Just saying. I think the testnet has you in mind, Nicole. It's trying to make your day. So
there was talk of writing 007 into the bridge code.
That's awesome. So yeah, that went through just fine. And I'm getting way ahead of myself. There we go. Round trip that. But okay, sad face. No more tethers.
No, now send it back.
Okay, I'm gonna go over my Trezor, and I might have to unlock my Trezor at this point. Sorry, guys, my demos are usually better than this when I'm just setting up demos. But okay,
we went through this together last minute.
Yeah, right.
I asked you for this last night, so
it's okay. Obviously, we don't have anything at all to send from there. We have zero collateral to send gas. So now we've got to send. We've got to send some over to that wallet so that we have some kind of a fee to return the transaction. We're going to put in 0, 0.
Vance is saying in Ethereum that would be 32 cents. I don't think that it works like that. So for one thing, like Pulse doesn't have a value, but if we assumed that one Pulse was 1/10,000th the value of one Ethereum based on the volume, we could probably do that math, but I haven't done it. You could try.
Yeah. Looks like this one's even lower. So we've got 4 zeros, 21 in gas fees right now. So looks like our gas fees are actively going down.
Ooh.
But wait, that's not accurate because we had 5 zeros and a 9 before. So actually it's we're getting pretty close to that first guess of about 4 zeros and an 8. No, was it 3 zeros and an 8? 3 zeros and an 8, and then it was 4 zeros and a 9. I'm sorry. That's
okay.
So we've already broken an order of magnitude. And yeah, we're now into the 3 zeros category. Hopefully we don't break the bank here with all this testnet money. And here we are back in our Trezor account. You can see that our asset lists, automatically shows TPLS because that's the native token. Though it also automatically showed us the tether, which I hadn't added yet manually. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I figured that one out. I think it could be that MetaMask already that I adjusted a setting to my token crawling inside of MetaMask. I definitely set it to hide any zero balances. So maybe I flipped a switch inside of MetaMask. So your mileage may vary, audience. Just know that.
Someone is asking if you can tell how much of the fee is burned.
Hey, that's a great question. So we'd have to go, I think, we have to go to the Explorer, and then we'd have to see how it looks from there. So we just sent this here. I have to go to I think actually the transaction itself. But there's the transfer, and then we should have a total breakdown of this. And again, this is actually not the most important thing to me, but we'll practice what we preach here. Go ahead and create that hide in our from address for now. It won't hide it forever, but now you see how that works anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like, as far as the readout here, we've got a transaction fee, and it just shows us the fee. It doesn't give us a breakdown.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it gives us a breakdown any further
Okay.
of how that's separated into burning or validator rewards or what.
Okay, so Vance says that it should be 20% of the fee. He thinks we can't tell from the Explorer, but maybe that's something that we can ask about, when I can get a dev on.
That'd be really cool. Well, here's the thing. If the devs can show, even if it's just a very simple ratio, right? If we know that it's a fixed ratio of 20% that is being burned, then that should be trivially simple to add under the transaction fee right here, or show into an expanded view. If users wanted to see that on the Block Explorer, just click some kind of a drop down like Chevron or Caret or something, and then have that expand to show you what the breakdown is between fees burned and then fees earned by validators.
Okay. Great. So yeah, someone says, I have to look at the code to see how the fee is distributed.
Yeah, sorry. I haven't dug very deep into that just yet. So
yeah, probably talking about 10,000x of a penny. Okay. All right. Oh, someone says it's 25%, not 20%. And then someone else says, Sebastian says the website says 25% of the fee is burned. All right, guys. All right. So all we're saying is it wasn't easy to show that from the, but it could easily be added. And maybe that's something that can be considered. Possibly. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Moving on.
Yeah. So we can also look at our activity here. And I mean, we'd see the same transactions that come out of here. It shows us where we sent it to, and breaking it down. I mean, it does show us inside of MetaMask some of the same info, right? So total gas fee, the base fee, right? The GUI, priority transaction payments right now, priority transaction fees are also going to be like super low compared to the value of PLS when it launches. And right now, obviously, nothing, right?
Right.
It's negative, actually. Developers who are doing testnet are doing it as a labor of love at this moment. So, yeah, out of pocket. But then we got all that info. This is the same stuff that we would normally be able to read directly inside of MetaMask. So it would be really cool if the Block Explorer offered a little more functionality than that. Like you're saying, it'd be really cool. But that account now has
transparency.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So our Trezor is now funded. We'll go ahead and send this all the way back, round trip and maximum, because we're high rollers. 70 tether, baby. Yeah. Get some. Our fee is, again, it's 4095. Again, And it could be there's a difference because we're sending a token instead of the native asset, instead of the utility token itself. There's almost always
there is a difference to bridge certain fees, like to bridge certain tokens. So that would make sense.
Yep. But we're not doing any kind of an advanced trade on a DEX or anything.
Right.
So it's just the fee of hitting up this smart contract and getting it to route the tokens that we're working with instead of the utility token. Anyway, you guys know this stuff. Preaching to the choir. Oof. And now, here we go. You can do me a solid, and I will stop sharing my window.
Sure.
Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, I'll keep it shared to you for now.
Yeah, just let me know when you're ready to bring it back up.
Okay.
I can see it. It's very small, but I'm not looking at it. Plus, I would never steal from you.
Never. Guys, there's a little running gag there when Nicole and I did pay bounties. The very few times that we did together, I'm like totally doxed to her, and yeah, she's super cool about it.
We did do some paid bounties, and it was funny. It was LDA who paid them, like all of them.
Small world.
Yeah.
You gotta be. I mean, yeah, I'll just say as far as that goes, guys, it is. It pays not to piss off marketers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know who you're really dealing with. So that's been sent, and I apologize. I forgot that the Trezor bridge doesn't show anything sensitive. It has a privacy confirmation screen anyway. So
you want me to add the screen back?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Cool.
So bottom line is I signed with my private keys on Trezor, and we sent that back. So it's back. All right. We have all 70 tethers, and back on Trezor, we can see that what? We spent all the gases. we've got very little testnet pulse left.
Okay.
So if you guys remember, it was 3 zeros and a 1, right? I sent only as much as I thought we would need to do this round trip, and I think I miscalculated.
Uh-oh.
So we'll see. Let's see. We've got enough for the fee. That's hilarious. We've got exactly enough for the fee, not enough to send what is left. And you can leave this on screen now, but okay. I'm just confirming on my device. And then I had already put in my PIN, which as an aside, oh my gosh, if you guys are looking at like increasing your anonymity and your privacy by using Linux, Trezor is so much easier to use than Ledger because it's all open source, and it's just a far more streamlined experience. I didn't think I'd be saying this. I'm a big fan of Ledger, but.
So I've mentioned before on stream that you have been like vocally against hardware wallets even at times.
Yeah.
And like, that's kind of how some of this conversation started, because I was like, I mentioned that Seth has been opposed to the use of hardware wallets, and like people were like, well, I'd really like to know why and get that breakdown.
Yeah, sure. Well, first off, we did the experiment, and I think that we found that the fees were consistently, just really quick. So for anybody who guessed, right, we didn't like whatever. We'll send you the first NFT that Richard makes.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, no, very limited edition. Looks very rare. So, but yeah, I think we can agree this was a success. But it looks like the round trip as far as sending the token was 0.00. It was 3095. Yes, is that correct?
Okay.
Guys, I'm not going. No, 4095, and then to send the native token itself, the utility token itself, it was 4 zeros, 2 5, and 2 or 2 1 each time. So we got about 4 zeros, 4 5 or 4 4, we'll say there, and or 4 6, and then we have 3 zeros, 1 9 as our other value. So yeah, whoever said about 3 zeros 8. I still agree with you, and you were the closest.
Awesome.
And I didn't run this test before.
There we go. Do we still need that screen up?
Nope. I'm going to stop
Okay,
sharing.
so before we get into the discussion about the wallets, should I like go back to the question that I asked you at the beginning, which was like how this conversation started? I asked you to experiment with a test net and evaluate whether or not it would be valuable to recommend to clients that they consider launching on PulseChain.
Yeah, absolutely. So
what were your findings?
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing it up. I don't have my notes in front of you, but I have shared them with you, so you know the full extent, like at least the the formal language of how I broke that down there.
Yep.
But the short answer is yes, absolutely yes. And here's kind of the longer answer. Whenever you see a market that is A, blue ocean, right? There are no other competitors there, and B, has deep pockets, you would be crazy not to consider whether or not your solution fits for them. Like, you would actually be insane, because there are people who desperately want what you have if it fits, and have significant amounts of value to give you if you solve their problem. And if you're the only person who can solve their problem, you're the only person attempting to solve their problem, then it's like, it's insanity on steroids, sniffing a line of crack. Like, it's just, I don't get why anybody would not go there, right? As a business owner, as a capitalist, take all of your allegiances aside inside the crypto space, all the tribalism, all the malice, all the whatever else. Frankly, money heals a lot of hurt. It does in the real world, in the business world. And that's why you see internationally, the real players, I promise you, they're not hating on the other real players internationally. That's why people hated Trump, by the way, is because he was just like, oh yeah, cool, whatever, we'll get along. Like, money heals certain problems.
Right. It
so
does.
Anyway, but yeah, that's my
so,
kind of longer
once the mainnet launches, do you need to do the same thing as the testnet PulseChain? And I believe that the answer is yes.
You absolutely do. Yeah. Though I think that the Block Explorer may be the same, because there's nothing in the Block Explorer right now that indicates that, rather the Block Explorer URL that indicates that it's a testnet. Maybe they will keep a separate testnet URL, Block Explorer URL that's just for the mainnet.
That would make sense.
Yeah, but the RPC will definitely change.
Hi, one of my favorite, like, very extremist personalities who appreciates my non-extremism. All right. Okay. So one of the reasons why I asked Seth to do this, well, so for one thing, it was looking into this for potential recommendations for our clients for work. Another thing was that I really wanted to show off Seth's technical acumen for those people who aren't familiar with him and his work already. And that's because I, after doing that stream, when I was saying, hey, actually, Seth really doesn't like hardware wallets, and there's like several reasons why, and he should get in, I should tell him to get into that. I also, then after that stream, I called Seth. And I was like, hey, Seth, so people want to see you do this. And I was like, at the same time, there's also, we have like sort of an indigenous wallet, but, StakerApp has its own wallet. And I know that they are looking for some additional funding right now. And one thing that could help them gain some funding would be an evaluation of its security next to MetaMask. And I would love to see Seth do like a really solid evaluation of, comparing MetaMask security with StakerApp security. So, but that's the kind of thing that takes considerable time and effort, and would normally be something that would be incentivized. We don't want it to have to be incentivized by by StakerApp, for one thing, because they're not down, and for another thing, because we don't want the findings to be biased. So what I'm kind of asking is for the community to consider, if that's something that you want to see, would you consider making a contribution for Seth's time so that he could do that kind of evaluation? And I would like to put my foot forward and say that I would consider making a contribution. And we want to have a discussion about, how much that should be, and how you got those figures.
I appreciate that. And just to acknowledge publicly also, I might have some bias as well. So part of the reason that a person might, why a person might ask for a fee to do this sort of thing is so that I can hire people who desperately want to break StakerApp. Because I know people who fit that description and who have skill sets that are even that are far more scary than mine are. So yeah, the sorts of people who do hardware wallet cracking, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do you think?
You asking the audience?
No, I'm asking you, like, so that we can give the audience an idea, like, what kind of figure do you have in mind? And if you could give like a vague breakdown of how you got that, how you got that number.
Okay, hold on a second. Audience, I'm going to do a thing here. First, I got to wave my hair.
Beautiful.
Y'all can't afford me. I'm just kidding. No, there's
okay, guys, and by the way, this is not the same. This is not the same. So there's been recent like discussions in private groups and about like how some crypto influencers have been like, yeah, I'll come on your stream for $10,000, and then came down to 5,000, and then came down to 4,000, and then came down to 2,000, and I was like, no, I'm not going to pay you. I've never paid anyone to do an interview. And then there are other people who have they've come like to the same, like actually approached the community like, hey, would you like me to come on your stream for $10,000? And like the community has been like, no, we've never paid anyone to do that. But so this is not the same thing because we're asking for a considerable amount of Seth's time and skills.
Yeah, to be clear, like for me, it's okay if the answer comes back no, dudes and dudettes. Really, like if what you're saying is like, no, we don't care about this guy's time. Like the beauty part about having hard skills that people actually want is that you can spend your time elsewhere, and it's no skin off my nose. But it would be a really cool thing.
Yeah, we're just like putting the option out there. So yeah, so do you have a breakdown?
Ooh, a breakdown of the time. I think when you and I talked about it, I think we said that asking for anything less than the equivalent of about $2,500 USD would be weird because I'm going to be asking subcontractors to like break things from a level that I don't normally operate. So yeah, having a fee for them and being able to meet their expectations. And then creating the media and then logging notes and then doing the proper write-up so that it's not like weird, and then conveying the technical notes that are given from subcontractors into something that is bite-sized. So anything less than that feels weird. Anything more than that, if the community feels so inclined to be that generous, like that's awesome. Okay.
So 2,500. And I'm willing to contribute. My mom says she's willing to contribute. So anybody else, if you are willing to contribute, like shoot me a message and let me know, because I would love to get this together. But like I said, it's like no pressure. It's just a matter of, whether or not this is something that we want to community fund.
Cool. Well, thank you for that, Nicole. Thanks for championing that, putting that forward.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for your time and for being here, Seth. I really, really appreciate you.
Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure. Yeah, meeting up and making me together. Let me ask you, how are you for time? And did I answer the question about whether or not a third party should partner with PulseChain, or was it just kind of a rant?
No, I feel like you answered it. Like, why wouldn't they? I mean, specifically if it solves, specifically if they're not competing with anything else that's already on the network and solving a need that those who are operating on the network have.
Yep. So yeah, from tech terms, it's called blue ocean. It's blue ocean. You can just paddle out there and, you can throw a line in the water. You can fish, do your little vertical jigging. Nobody else is going to come by and like try to scare you off. But all the fish you can catch in that blue ocean.
Yeah. So, okay, for time, I have a little bit of it. My daughter's waiting for me, but what's up? You want to talk about something else?
Oh no, I wasn't sure how long you normally broadcast. I thought you did like 45 minutes, or you did a little longer.
People like Saturdays, they like keep them kind of short because it's Saturdays and like you've got a family, I've got a family,
Yes, that's true. My family is right over there watching anime.
Are they really?
Oh yeah, totally.
Mine is upstairs playing Minecraft.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to say something. You posted something this last week. Like, okay, so I have to go through and count everyone's social posts from the company for like our guerrilla marketing points and stuff. And like Seth tweets more than anyone else. So it's like considerably more time counting Seth's tweet, but I'm also like just laughing so hard going through his tweets because it's like just, I don't know, hilarious. And you have like, and one of the tweets that has been my favorite recently was like, my son told me that breeding bees in Minecraft is like What was it exactly? Do you remember?
And I don't remember off the top of my head because, like you said, it's water under the bridge. Something along the lines of breeding bees for fun and profit. It was like ultra autistic.
Did someone say Minecraft?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, I did.
You did. Have you ever tried breeding bees in Minecraft?
No.
I mean, like your
'Cause
son
they
should make a
sting
tutorial
you.
video. How
They
do you
sting
breed
you.
bees? They're good for
But-
security, though. Good for security, and that's why
yeah,
I was just laughing. You were like, "Gonna make it."
Yes,
If you
that's
hit
just
a
it.
bee, though, accidentally, it will like attack you.
That's true.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if it attacks you, who else will it attack?
And what if there's like a whole bunch of bees and you don't hit them, but someone is trying to get to you and like they accidentally hit a bee and you're like, I'm
No,
safe.
the bees wouldn't do anything. They just hit you, keep hitting you.
So you
until
need to
die.
breed bees and have secret tunnels so that you never have to cross the bees.
Yeah, but
That's
even if
basically
you do anything, if you go underwater in real life with bees chasing you, the bees would swim the water.
Okay. All right. Well, we're just wrapping up. Thank you for coming on stream, babe.
You're welcome.
By the way, your tiara looks very, very nice. It looks so pretty on you. It matches your eyes very nicely.
Thank you.
Aww. All right. So, Seth, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate your time. Anyone who's willing to contribute and like wants to see Seth try to break StakerApp, hit me up. Let me know. Will you fortify our bridge?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I was like, fortify the bridge. I was like, there's the mainnet isn't even live yet. What are you talking about? Bridges? Okay.
Yeah. Fortify the bridge.
Fortify the bridge.
Yeah, because we built the bridge before.
Hold on. If I do it like this and we go like, boom, like,
Oh, that would be
snap.
cool.
That doesn't work. But we need something that tessellates. Wait, my fingers aren't working. If you guys are getting, you guys are thinking about like 1980s b-boy beats, right? Egyptian lover, like, get that right out of your head. That's weird.
There we go. That's pretty good.
That's more level.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Cool. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you on Wednesday or sooner. I don't know. All right. Bye, everyone.